Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a video that I've been working on for a little bit here, and it's gonna be the fact that fans are drastically switching up on Justin Gaethje, and it almost feels like out of nowhere. I'm gonna go through some delusional comments and, show the difference between the fan reaction to the fight before and after. It's been, 2 weeks out from UFC 300. Fans are all of a sudden backing Max Holloway, so before we do that, I do want to talk about the fight a little bit. This is a great fight. It's a great stylistic matchup. It should be super fun to watch. Justin Gaethje, super explosive, never in a boring fight. Max Holloway, super technical, crazy cardio, also has crazy output, so both of these guys have so much to bring to the table as, in terms of excitement, and I'm really excited to see how this fight goes down. But let's get into some of the comments of how people reacted before or just when the fight was broken. Just when breaking news, Max Holloway's going to be fighting Justin Gaethje. I'm going to pop some of these up on the screen for you. Let's take a look at these. First time Holloway will get KO'd in his career. Is anyone else scared and excited at the same time? Oh man, I'm worried for Max. This is a rough matchup for him. Max is my favorite fighter, but I'm not ready for this. Max is about to get Fergusoned. Don't like this as a Max fan. I love these guys so much, but this just doesn't do it for me, fam. I mean, that one's not really about Max Holloway, but either way, those are some extremely, adverse reactions to this fight. And that's when the fight was first broken. Everyone was saying, oh, Justin Gaethje's going to murder Max Holloway. It's going to be the end of his career, which I've stayed to that narrative. I continue to believe that Justin Gaethje will win this fight in brutal fashion, but I've seen so many people switching up, and all of a sudden we see comments like this. Max is going to chin Gaethje in this fight. Okay, before I move on to the other comments, that is straight delusion. If you think Max Holloway is going to KO Justin Gaethje, that's wild in my opinion. Max Holloway isn't necessarily known for his power, and Justin Gaethje has a good chin. And I mean, if you're coming, into that fight with that kind of delusional thinking, you're going to be let down either way, whoever wins. I think Max Holloway can win a decision. I think Max Holloway can, maybe TKO Gaethje in the 4th or 5th round if he's accumulated enough damage on Gaethje, but I don't think he's just going to chin Gaethje and that's going to be it. But let's move into some of these other, comments here. I was all in on Justin, but this video scares me. So for context, Max Holloway posted a recent video of him sparring, and he, has said in the past that he doesn't spar anymore because it doesn't, it's not great for his body, and he wants to stay in peak shape for each fight. So if anything, I think this would worry fans. If I was, picking Max Holloway, I would be like, whoa, he's back sparring. I don't know how that's going to affect his body after not sparring all these years. But people are like, oh, no, now Max Holloway sparring, he's going to destroy Gaethje. There's no question about it. That's how some of these, comments seem. Blessed trained by KO. Max is going to win this. Everyone is doubting him, but Max is a dog. That one's not as delusional, but still. Is he sparring? Justin don't stand a chance. Max Holloway is going to completely destroy Justin Gaethje in every aspect of the fight. I see so many comments like these now, and I mean, I threw a few examples up on the screen for you just now, but I mean, are people really this delusional, or are they? I'm convinced a lot of these people have just switched their narrative all of a sudden because they're picking Max out of favoritism, because Max Holloway has a huge fan base. He has one of the biggest fan bases in the UFC, one of the most loyal fan bases. People were even, still argue to this day about the Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski fights, when I thought Volkanovski won all three clearly. But, I mean, this is just insane to me. I mean, I remember when the fight was first announced, everyone was thinking the way I'm thinking, which is that Gaethje's going to KO Max Holloway in brutal fashion. And, I want to get into why I believe that. The reason I believe Justin Gaethje is going to KO Max Holloway in the 1st or 2nd round is because Max Holloway has fought at lightweight before, And in his fight with Dustin Poirier at lightweight, Max Holloway has shown his durability, which is the number one thing that gets him through fights, is how well he takes punches, is diminished at lightweight. He does not take shots anywhere near as good as he does at featherweight, at lightweight. So I think this is going to be a big problem for him going in there against someone with the power of Justin Gaethje, as well as, on top of that, last time Max was at lightweight, he didn't look great, like physically wise. Moving up a weight class isn't always easy, and he looked just kind of like a slightly fat featherweight Holloway, in my opinion. He didn't really build into the weight class, and I know there's all these internet, doctors and, I don't even know what to call them, admirers, just looking at Max Holloway's Instagram, refreshing it every 10 seconds, like, oh, Max Holloway, he's really building himself into this weight class, man. We don't know that. We're not going to know that until, the weigh-ins and the night of the fight. So I don't even really pay attention to that stuff. It's all kind of weird in my opinion. Max Holloway is still 32 years old, so he can, he may just be entering his prime. We don't know. He could, be able to put that muscle on better than ever and beat Justin Gaethje and go down and, fight at featherweight and get a title, now that Volkanovski's kind of out of the picture and the division's wide open again. I honestly thought he should have skipped this fight and waited for, Ilia Topuria, which is my biggest complaint about this fight. Besides all the delusion and everything else that I've talked about thus far, I'm pissed that Max Holloway took this fight because I desperately wanted to see Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria. And now we don't know if we'll ever see it. Say Justin Gaethje brutally KOs him like I think he will. Max Holloway's going to be out for a while, and we may never see that Ilia Topuria matchup, which is heartbreaking. I wanted to see, because Max Holloway, I would favor him give him a good chance in the Ilia Topuria matchup. But I mean, if he gets brutally KO'd and it takes forever to recover, and he's damaged, and his legs get chopped in the fight, I think he's going to have issues coming back down to featherweight, and he's going to have to deal with a weight cut on top of that. I could just see a whole nother Volkanovski situation all over again when Volkanovski went up, got KO'd by Islam Makhachev, had to cut weight for his next fight, and turned around and fought Ilia Topuria and got brutally KO'd. So I don't like this fight for Max at all, man. And another thing that Gaethje has on his side is just the overall strength and the leg kicks. The leg kicks in this fight are going to be there for Gaethje. He's going to be chopping the leg. He's going to be, He's going to be limiting Max Holloway's movement. And, on top of that, he's just got the strength. People are kind of saying here and there, I've seen some comments of, Max Holloway's going to use the grappling on Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje, as badly known as he is for his grappling, he has good defensive grappling. He used to be a wrestler, so he does have good takedown defense. But, I shouldn't even say. Therefore, I don't think Max Holloway is going to be able to just take him down, rinse and repeat. And if that's true, then I think Justin Gaethje beats him, pretty much everywhere. I think he's going to limit the movement of Max Holloway. I think he's going to be marching him down. I think he'll be able to eat the punches of Max Holloway if he does get hit on the chin, which, let's face it, is going to happen. It's a Justin Gaethje fight. And on top of that, he's got the power and the size advantage, he's not much bigger than Max Holloway, but I would lean Gaethje in the size advantage and just overall strength in general. And I think, Justin Gaethje, this dude has improved so much over the years, and I feel like some of these, revisionists are looking back at, Justin Gaethje's career, and that's why they've all of a sudden swapped to Max Holloway, and they're looking at some of his maybe older fights, and they're saying, well, this guy's kind of sloppy in these areas, and Max is very good, but if you watch recent Justin Gaethje fights, he has vastly improved. And where Max Holloway has also improved, I feel like he's kind of stagnated a bit recently. If anything, starting to go downhill a bit. If Arnold Allen is having that kind of showcase against you, and I don't know, MMA math doesn't always necessarily work, but I feel like if Arnold Allen's able to land those shots on your chin, Justin Gaethje's going to be able to land those shots on your chin, and it's going to be brutal. I may make another video just breaking down all the shots that Arnold Allen and these past opponents of Max Holloway have been able to land on his chin and where Gaethje can capitalize. And, Yair Rodriguez was landing his head kicks on Max Holloway, and I think, Justin Gaethje, He's got gnarly head kicks. We just saw it in the Poirier fight, so that could be an issue for him too. But similar to my last video, I don't want it to be all negative about Max Holloway in this video. Let's talk about the ways that, he could potentially win this fight. I think Max has the speed advantage for one. I think he's way faster than Gaethje. I think, if he's able to avoid, either check or avoid the leg kicks, and he's able to keep moving and, pump the jab, pump the 1-2, and throw a hook in there every once in a while, throw some leg kicks of his own, or maybe even some deep kicks, I think he can win this fight by a decision, or, later round TKO, like I mentioned earlier in the video, if he's just putting the volume on Gaethje the entire time, moving around, punching him in the face over and over and over again, beating up the legs and the body, jabbing him to the body, and, just kind of breaking down Justin Gaethje. I think Max Holloway has superior cardio as well, which is another thing that Max Holloway could implement in his strategy in this game, is drag it to the later rounds, I mean, Gaethje isn't known for as bad of cardio as he used to have, but I still would lean Max in the edge of the cardio. But either way, I think this fight, in my opinion, is a bad decision for both parties. I think Justin Gaethje could have gotten a title shot. I think Max Holloway could have been also looking at a title shot. So I think this could be a potential blunder for both guys, where only one guy is going to end up really getting what they deserved in their respective divisions. So let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and, comment, something funny or whatever. I don't know. And subscribe if you do enjoy these types of videos. I'll be pumping out a ton of UFC 300 content in the next few weeks. And thank you so much for watching.